The VESA mount adapter will be $199, and the Pro stand, $999.
What's up guys, Sal here. So it's a known thing at this point that the Mali GPU that Samsung uses in their in-house Exynos chips are kinda inferior to the Adreno GPU that Qualcomm uses in their Snapdragon processor. And it's true to some extent. They differ in clock speed, architecture, bandwidth, number of cores, cache size, etc. Both the GPUs are great, but developers prefer Adreno because it's much easier to develop games on and thus has an upper hand on ARM's Mali GPU. But that could change with this announcement. Samsung has decided to ditch the Mali GPU and will use AMD's Radeon GPU technology come forward. Samsung and AMD has signed a multi-year deal where AMD will develop advanced graphics technologies and solutions for Samsung's Exynos chipsets. AMD will give the internal design of their GPU to Samsung, and Samsung will take that and incorporate into their Exynos chipsets. Samsung in return will have to pay royalties and licensing fees to AMD. That being said, this deal could really stir the whole market. AMD is known for its innovation. They've seen great success in PCs and gaming consoles, and this deal with Samsung means that Samsung flagships with Exynos chips will now run intensive and demanding games and simulation without overheating or crippling battery life. Honestly, this could finally flip the script on the Exynos GPU's advantage. Fun fact, the Adreno GPU was actually owned and developed by AMD, but they sold it to Qualcomm in 2009. So AMD's entry into the smartphone scene means it's more like a sibling rivalry since both are owned by AMD, and this new state of things will not just be good for Samsung, but for all things digital, as it will also push Qualcomm into making their chips even better. By the way, Samsung hasn't mentioned any time frame on when we might see Radeon graphics on their chipsets. The likelihood of this appearing on the Galaxy S11 is very low, I guess, as a good degree of optimization will be required to customize AMD's chips for smartphones. So it's more likely that we'll see this in the year 2021. But we can't really say that for sure. It's possible that Samsung and AMD have been working together behind closed doors for a considerable amount of time and they only announced it yesterday. In that case, we might see this as soon as next year. In any case, exciting times are ahead, and like I've said, this new state of things will be good for all things digital. So a couple of days ago, Xiaomi showcased a prototype of a smartphone that had the front camera hidden underneath the display. And today they are letting us know how the tech on their phone actually works. As you can see, they have used a transparent display around that front camera. Not a regular transparent OLED, but a special low reflective glass with high transmittance. Regular transparent displays have a slight tint to them, which doesn't let the light pass easily and would affect the image quality of the selfie camera. But Xiaomi managed to reduce that, and they are promising a clearer image as good as the regular selfie camera, which sounds too good to be true for now considering the whole transparent display thing. Although Xiaomi's prototype appears to be functional, there is no word yet on when the phone might make it to the market. Xiaomi showcased a foldable smartphone a few months ago, but we have heard absolutely nothing since then, so I hope the same doesn't happen with this smartphone as well. Anyway, do consider subscribing for all the latest coverage on smartphone tech, and as always, I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.